Guys, before we get into the video, I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to somebody who left a comment on the Gemini from Action Force Series 3.1 review. If you want to see that one, click the link in the description below. But I want to read a comment from somebody because it really just warmed my heart to see this, man. This is from Just Unther Randerson 3141. I don't know. I'll leave your ad in here. Pretty much, he says, "Thank you for being a positive reaction for all action figures. It really seems lately that each company has their own biased shills who just shit on the other brand because they're a diehard fan for one brand or the other. It seems like Valorous really gets piled on by a lot of the YouTube and Hasbro creators and vice versa. I'm really glad your review popped up on my feed. It's nice to be able to enjoy what the review is saying without getting the same old BS. Is Valorous Action Force perfect? Nope. And is Hasbro G.I. Joe perfect? Nope. It's like the other creators don't realize the more people making action figures, we benefit from it. Does it really matter who copied who or who did what first? Or he did this first, or he's better, or they're the real original toy, so they're better. Just so much hate, it's sad. Then I guess it's going in real life, and there was an incident at the last con between two YouTubers over a freaking action figure. Sorry, I just wanted to say thank you for being a positive voice. In the community, we need a lot more like you." Man, Justin Thur Anderson, I appreciate that, dog. That means a lot, man. That means a whole lot. And you know what, man? I try to be that positive beacon, man. I try to, to keep it real with you guys and tell you, exactly how I feel about whatever I'm looking at on the channel, which is a lot of what I'm going to do today, because we gonna talk. This video is sponsored by Bud Light. One day. We're gonna get there one day. I'm serious.
You're goddamn right.
What's going on, world? What's cracking, gang? What's the deal? It's everybody's favorite Unk, and it's been a minute, guys. I missed you. You probably didn't miss me, but it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. I'll be just fine. I'm not that fragile. But it's the holiday season, man. It's the holiday season. Everything's crazy right now. There's sales all over the place. I've been kind of quiet with all the sales going on. You're trying to get something for your mommy. You're trying to get something for your daddy, for your sister, for your brother, for your significant other. So everybody's busy right now, man, including myself. The content's been kind of slow over the past month. It's probably going to continue to be kind of slow over the next month or so. I'm in between jobs right now. I just got a new job. So I'm trying to get situated with all that. And sometimes you got to slow it down. Sometimes you got to scale it back and look at the bigger picture, man. Today I just wanted to talk to you guys because it's been a while since we've talked face to face like this in a video. And it's probably going to be a while before the next one. The end of the year is coming up. So I'm lying. It won't be a while before the next one because I'm definitely going to do my top 10 figures of 2023. And I definitely got some other video ideas. But until then, I kind of wanted to check in with you guys, man. See how everybody's holding up through the holidays. I just had a Friendsgiving this past weekend. It was beautiful. I'm filming this the day before actual Thanksgiving. So happy Indigenous Peoples Day to everybody out there. But I'm just going to kind of go through some pickups that I got over the past month or so. Like I said, I've been slowing it down. I've been, pacing myself and not going too hard, not breaking the bank. And we're going to get into a topic I kind of want to talk about, which is, does every property need action figures? I bought a figure recently, or I got a figure on pre-order recently that came in that really made me think that. It was kind of disappointing, and I thought to myself, does this property need action figures? So we're going to get into that. But first, let's get into some pickups. Let's go! I gotta take a sip real quick. So I picked up the Spawn Batman 2-pack by McFarlane probably like a month ago, I'd say. And I don't really collect McFarlane, man, and it's crazy because I'm starting to get kind of a McFarlane collection going now by no fault of my own. It started off when I wanted to get that Build-A-Figure horse. And so I got the Robin, I got the Joker, both for like $6 at Target. I bought the bath piece that came with the Batman, and I got the Superman for like $10 at Target. So I didn't care about any of the figures, but I got the horse. And then I picked up the Flash, Michael Keaton Batman. And then I got this 2-pack, so now I'm like, well, damn, I need a McFarlane shelf now, right? But anyway, I've been wanting a definitive Spawn figure for a while. I still don't think there is a definitive Spawn. We've got that Mortal Kombat Spawn that has the red on the inside, and that's the closest one. But I really do love this figure, man. And Spawn is one of the coolest looking character designs, honestly, in my opinion, of all time. And I got a really good deal on this 2-pack. The Batman's over there. I got this for the Spawn. Like, I don't care about the Batman. But I got a really good deal on this 2-pack, actually. I went to Second and Charles, and I saw that they had 2 of this 2-pack on the floor, so I grabbed it. There was no price on it. I went to the register and asked what the price was, and the lady was like, "Oh, I'm glad you said that because there's one back here that's 50% off, actually, because Batman's head popped off." And I was like, is it broken or did it just pop off? It had popped off the joint in the box, so they marked down the price from $50 to $25. So I got this 2-pack for $25. So I think that was a pretty good steal, man. And that was going on when a lot of those deals from Ollie's and Ross and stuff were just starting to come around. But I picked this guy up. Man, this thing is a lot of fun. He doesn't really pose the best because of the cape, but the sculpt is just great. The sculpt is just great on this guy, man. And he never really had a sword like that. I'm thinking about getting the spear, or not the spear, the axe that Anthony's Customs is selling. But I mean, look at the sculpt on this guy, man. He looks great. He looks great. So $25 for both figures. I still put the Batman on the shelf. Come ups, man. There's so many deals right now. That makes me think I might put in some B-roll right here of like other stuff that I got while I was out at Ollie's and stuff like a month ago, because the sales have just been crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna throw that in here probably as well. All right, next on the docket, this line I recently decided is gonna be the first line that I'm all in on. Strictly because like the figures are quality. They're the best figures for their price point that are out right now. If you don't know, spoiler alert. Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna be all in on the Jada line. And the main reason is because they don't flood you with releases like every other line. This year they put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like what, 6 figures? And they're all $25 a piece. And once you get the figure, it's like, you feel like you've accomplished something because the wait is over. And they're just so fun to play with. Like this, I can't wait to do my top 10 figures of the year list, but this figure is 100% on there. So I just picked up Chun-Li. Amazon had her back in stock about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago maybe. I got this about a week ago, I think. And I've been wanting this figure forever. Chun-Li is one of my favorite characters from Street Fighter. Cammy is my favorite, and Vega's my number 2. So I was really excited to get this figure, man. And yes, she can do any pose that you want her to do. So I'm really excited about this, man. Look, now is the time of the year. I'm not the only one saying it. If there's stuff that you didn't get earlier this year that you've been wanting to get, there's sales all over the place. It's time to clean up. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I've been lucky enough to get most of what I wanted this year. And the only other things that I will be getting this year are all coming from on pre-order before the year is out. But yeah, man, if there's stuff like this Chun-Li that you couldn't find, now is the time to grab it. So this is an awesome figure. Highly recommend the Jada line. Like I said, I'm a completionist now, baby. I need that Evil Ryu. So I gotta find that for a good price, but not a hard line to be a completionist on is this one. And when you're with it from the start, it makes it a little easier, but man, I love this figure. A little pause for the cause. Like I said, I don't collect McFarlane. I really don't. But lately, for some reason, the bug has been biting me, and I've been getting bit, man. I've been getting bit. I went to Target 2 weeks ago. It might have been last week. 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. And got this guy on sale for $12. And I saw him, and I was like, man, how could you not? How could you not for $12? I don't even know anything about Blue Beetle. This is Carapax, by the way, from the Blue Beetle movie, I guess. I don't know anything about the Blue Beetle at all. But this is just a badass, cool little mech suit, bro. Like, this thing is so cool, man. There was 2, and I almost got the other one just to paint it up and, like, you know, make my own little, like, war mechs or something. But this thing's cool, man, and it's got that mega figure size. The sculpt is great. Look at the sculpt. Look at the details and stuff on it, man. I don't know anything about this character. I just think it looks really, really cool. And so I picked it up. I said, why not? You know, I wish I could have got that big Avatar mech, not the crab suit, but the other one that was out earlier this year, because that would have went perfectly with this for me. And the articulation is like it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, you know what I'm saying? The double jointed elbows are kind of, you know, they don't really do too much, but like the articulation for like a big figure, like it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like look at that. For 12 bucks. So yeah, like I said, I don't know anything about Blue Beetle, but I saw this guy on sale and I couldn't resist. And he looks weird on the shelf. I don't collect DC McFarlane stuff at all. What is happening to me? What is happening to me right now? Lord forgive me. Real quick, if I don't do B-roll of this one, I'm gonna just add this one in here just to show it off. But I found Giannis starting lineup, Giannis Antetokounmpo for 13 bucks at Marshall's. And like, yeah, man, the face scans on these guys are great. It just sucks they don't have any tattoos. They got cool shoes too. I really hope that Hasbro continues this line. I mean, it seems like they are, you know, not going to continue it if they can't sell it at a crazy price like 50 bucks, which is utterly fucking ridiculous. But I'd love to get like the football starting lineup line. That'd be great. I'd love to get a Jalen Hurts. Hasbro, get your thumb out of your ass. Give us a reasonable price. If you price these at 30 bucks, people will buy them. $50, that's crazy. Like, I had to wait for the sale to buy LeBron. Like, I got LeBron who's sitting over there for 25 bucks. But 13 bucks, can't beat it. Check your Marshalls. Check your Marshalls. It's that time of the year, baby. Check your Marshalls. This is the figure that made me want to make this video, because I needed to talk about a couple things. So I picked up the Berserk Guts in his Berserker armor. All right. This figure, look, you got a bendy wire cape. I have a black hoodie on, so you can't really tell, but bendy wire cape. You know, you can do whatever you want with a bendy wire cape. This figure is gorgeous. This figure is truly a work of art when you look at it. Like, look at that head sculpt. You know, look at the sword, you know. Like, just great attention to detail. Everything about this figure, from the aesthetic standpoint, is great. But I had a litany of QC issues. One is that this sword, if I was to take his sword off his shoulder, his hand would fall off probably. The wrist peg is way too weak in the sword holding hand. I know it's been talked about ad nauseum by everybody that's talked about this figure, but it really does make this figure a pain in the ass to play with. This figure is not fun to handle. Every time I move it, I am afraid. Every time I move it, I am afraid that I'm either going to have to spend 20 minutes reposing it to get it right, or that something's gonna break. And that's not good. One of my knees straight up just doesn't go all the way double and seizes up. I'm gonna try to do it on camera without having to, you know, but that's as far as one of the knees goes. And I took a hairdryer to it, I took hot water to it, I did everything, and it just won't go any further than that. And the other knee goes all the way, as you can see. So yeah, this one's defective as well, but you know, I was gonna send it back to Big Bad Toy Store because I pre-ordered it through Big Bad Toy Store 6 months ago. Yeah, that's right, 6 months ago. I waited 6 months for a $100 figure that I pre-ordered to come and be defective.
My expectations was too high for the world. That's why I was mad.
Thanks, Tamashi. You're on the list. But yeah, I didn't want to send it back and get another one because like I had already waited long enough for it. It's gonna sit on my shelf just like this. It's not gonna do anything else. I'm really disappointed. I wish I would have got Griffith instead because it was between Guts and Griffith, but I really wanted Guts because he's the main character and he's just badass. But yeah, I was really disappointed with this guy, man. This is like some bullshit. Like, for $100, a figure that feels like it's gonna fall apart in your hands. I understand that, you know, some of the design choices had to be made because of accuracy. Like this knife on his waist You can peg it on and off, but it barely stays on there because if you move him around too much, it's just gonna pop off. But that's accurate. There's also this thing is so much fun to handle, as you can tell. There's also a spot for his bow to go in, his arm cannon. But like if you turn it like just the slightest bit, it doesn't barely stay in there. Like it doesn't stay in there. It'll fall out if you jiggle it around too much. Just little stuff like that, man. Little design choices. No butterfly joints. That arm joint on the inside is super ugly. I don't know if you can see that, but it's super ugly in there. Like it's just the double ball peg that it's on, ball hinge that it's on pretty much. Really weird design choices made with this figure, but I still love it. It looks amazing. It's one of the best looking figures that I own. It looks really, really nice. But you can't be having QC like this for $100, Tamashii. You can't. And this is what made me think, are some properties better off not having action figures? For the character design of someone like Guts, it's so busy and there's so much going on this character design that the articulation is going to be limited anyway. And that poses the question, like, are you better off just getting the statue of, someone like Guts? And that's what it really got me thinking, man. But it's what really got me thinking, man, was like, there's some properties that I feel like some of the character designs are so intricate that to put that in action figure form would be such a task that maybe it's not worth it because the figure would be too hindered by some of the engineering choices that the person that created the character came up with were. You get what I'm saying? I say all that to say I love the SH Figuarts Guts Berserk figure. I love it. But I think that, a character design like that is better served in a statue. And to be fair, I don't think that, when Berserk was being written, the people that were creating it thought that it would ever get made into an action figure. So, that's understandable. But, that begs the question. Is there a line that you collect that you think would be better off left as statues? Or is there a line that are only statues that you would rather see action figures from? Leave that in the comments below because I think that's an interesting conversation to have. I am sure I'm like a lot of other collectors where I started out collecting statues. I had a lot of the Bam Presto stuff from Dragon Ball when I first started because originally that's what got me back into collecting, and I wanted to just have every Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z character that I could in statue form. And eventually I bought a Figuarts figure, and that's what kind of, popped my cherry, so to speak, and brought me over to the dark side of articulating 6-inch action figures. It just made me want to get rid of the statues and do the figures instead, because why not make my own statue, like my own pose. But that being said, now that I'm deeper in the figure game, I'm starting to realize some properties just don't translate to action figures as good as we think they're going to. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I just want to know how you guys feel about that. I'm trying to think of another example of like a property that might be hard to transfer into a toy because of how, difficult it would be to articulate it without it falling apart. Maybe some of the Elden Ring characters, like Radahn. Granted, Radahn is really big, but he has a really complex design. We saw that Malenia that Tamashii announced recently, and people are talking about how the skirt looks on that one and hindering articulation. And Malenia, she's like a swordsman. She does all these crazy moves. So I hope that they're good. I say all that to say that I hope that they're good because I would love for the Elden Ring line to continue long beyond the life of this video. But anyway, yeah, man, leave that in the comments below, man. Let me know what you guys think about the topic. Does every property need to be in action figure form? Are some better off as statues? Are some better off left in comic books and manga? Are some better off left on the silver screen? You be the judge of that. Leave it in the comments. Let's have a discussion. I appreciate everybody watching, man. I'm filming this the day before Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man. Y'all have been great. The channel's been growing. I really appreciate, all the love and support. It's fun to be a part of this community. And make sure you tell somebody that you love them this holiday season. And until next time, peace.